Police in the Senegalese capital Dakar have surrounded the home of the main opposition leader Ousmane Sonko after deadly unrest erupted over a jail sentence pronounced against him. Mr. Sonko wasn't in court on Thursday when he was sentenced to 2 years in prison for immoral behaviour, but the Justice Minister said he could be jailed at any time. At least 9 people were killed in Dakar and the southern city of Ziguinchor when Mr. Sonko's supporters clashed with police. Fierce winds have been causing sandstorms in Israel amid a mini heatwave as the US envoy John Kerry is in Jerusalem to discuss ways to tackle the climate crisis in the region. The sandstorm was blamed for causing the deaths of 4 people in Egypt. One study has forecast that temperatures in the Middle East are rising almost twice as fast as the rest of the world. Yolande Nell is in Jerusalem.
Israel is somewhere that is known for high tech, for innovative uses of technology, but it's also criticised by environmental activists for not having more of a joined-up plan to look at climate change when it comes to legislation that's been passed and so on. Now, other places like the Gaza Strip, not so far from here, will really suffer very badly from climate change because there you already have power shortages, you don't have the same ability to adapt.
World News from the BBC. The Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, has again come under attack overnight from Russian missiles. Officials say the city's air defences proved effective. From Kyiv, James Waterhouse reports.
Kyiv has been under attack from missile and drone strikes for almost 20 of the last 30 days. The city's sleep has once again been disturbed by sirens and accompanying explosions, but it appears that air defences have been effective. We're told no civilians have been killed overnight this time. President Zelensky has hinted at negative consequences for Kyiv's Mayor Vitaly Klitschko if reports that an air raid shelter was locked are confirmed. He was speaking in Moldova, where he was trying to secure more air defence systems from European allies. It was hoped that Russia might relent in its targeting of Ukrainian cities with the end of winter, but the opposite is happening.
Defence ministers from nearly 50 countries are gathering in Singapore for Asia's biggest annual security summit. The meeting is expected to be overshadowed by tension between the United States and China. Their representatives are not due to hold direct talks after Beijing turned down the suggestion of a bilateral meeting. Latest figures released by the Japanese Health Ministry reveal the country's birth rate has declined in 2022 for the 7th consecutive year, underscoring a sense of crisis. The fertility rate, or the average number of children born to a woman in her lifetime, was around 1.25, far below the minimum rate considered essential for a stable population. Organisers of an annual cheese rolling event in Britain that's led to multiple injuries have been warned that emergency services won't staff it in future until there's a proper safety plan. The extreme sport, in which participants chase a cheese wheel down a steep hill in Gloucestershire, attracts spectators from around the world. Injuries this year included broken ankles, a broken leg and a suspected seizure. BBC News.
This is The Real Story from the BBC. I'm Sean Lay with your weekly deep dive into a story making news.
New and when, and also about what level of safeguarding procedures are in place at the company to prevent this kind of thing from happening at all.
Matthew Thompson, thanks so much. Now, if you or anyone you know have been affected by this content or if the story of this regard, do remember you can call the Samaritans 116123 or email joe@samaritans.org. Now, figures from across the football world have condemned the attack by Roma fans on the English referee Anthony Taylor. The official was hounded by a group of supporters at Budapest airport after the Italian team's defeat by Sevilla in Wednesday's heated Europa League final. The referee and his family were ushered into a secure area by airport security as members of the crowd yelled and threw a chair and a bottle in his direction. Budapest Airport says the Italian citizen involved was apprehended by the police and criminal proceedings have been initiated on charges of affray. The incident comes after Roma manager Jose Mourinho was seen in these pictures from Sport Italia directing a string of expletives towards the officials after the match, labelling their performance as a disgrace. And speaking to Sky News earlier, former Manchester United striker Dion Dublin said the incident was disgusting and that Jose Mourinho had a level of responsibility.
That shouldn't be a thought process that we have to think about referees and their safety when they're trying to walk through an airport with their family just to try and board a plane or to get from A to B. You know, just a human being with their family. You know, he's done his job. Referees make mistakes. Excuse me. Referees make mistakes. Players make mistakes. Coaches make mistakes. So, you know, you never see any of that when, you know, players are walking through lounges and stuff. So I think it's disgusting. I really do. Excuse me. I think it's really bad that, you know, he has to do that. And I don't know, it's the fans have got to be embarrassed with themselves, surely, trying to get to a referee and his family. I just think it's disgusting. And I think they have to come down on these fans hard.
Maybe embarrassed, but how much responsibility does Mr. Mourinho have in this? You know, he was filmed screaming at Anthony Taylor a day before, and then lo and behold, 24 hours later, fans of his club are screaming at him in the airport.
Yeah, I get that, and there's always going to be that look at Mr. Mourinho. I think Mr. Mourinho may have shouted at a few other referees as well. I'm not sure if they were attacked straight after he shouted at them at that time. So on this occasion, for Mr. Anthony Taylor to get attacked by some fans verbally, physically, and to bring it back to Mr. Mourinho, I think I think he has a part to play in this, Mr. Mourinho, and I think he does most managers get very angry when things don't go their way. It's how they deal with it and how they conduct themselves with that anger and that frustration. A lot of the times managers do fly off the handle with referees. They always regret it. They always know that they've been wrong in that situation, but I don't think you can pin this one on Mr. Mourinho. I think the fans have got to look at themselves and hopefully apologise very, very soon, because I think their behaviour has been disgusting.
Right, so to come on Sky News this hour, we'll hear more from Philip Schofield, who says he's lost everything and apologised over his affair with a younger male colleague in his first interviews since leaving ITV and this morning. Crucial questions remain unanswered over the sinking of the Summer Love in February, one of Italy's worst migrant boat disasters. And later this hour, Sky News hears one victim's terrifying ordeal as violent luxury watch robberies are on the rise. Now, the sinking of the Summer Love in February was one of Italy's worst migrant boat disasters. The number of people known to have died continues to rise. The body of a man was found in April, and up to 30 are still unaccounted for. Crucial questions remain unanswered. Sky News, in collaboration with Lighthouse Reports and media partners across Europe, have sought to answer a key question. Was the death toll so high because authorities failed to act quickly enough? Well, our Europe correspondent Siobhan Robbins has this report.
صدا کردم که بخیزه که آب داخل کشتی شده بخیزه برای از جا که آب داخل کشتی شده برای از جا.
On the 26th of February, Italy witnessed one of the worst migrant boat crashes in decades.
كنا عم نسمع عياط وعم نسمع ولويل وعم نسمع صوت أولاد ونسمع صوت نسوان وصوت زلم. بعد 30 ثانية بالضبط دقيقة تقريبا ما عاد سمعنا صوت حدا. غرقت الناس كلها.
At least 94 people died. Around 35 are believed to be children.
هر طرف می‌زنن جنازه است. رو آب، لب آب. متأسفانه خسته‌شانه بعد.
But could more have been done to save them? Sky News, working with media partners across Europe and Lighthouse Reports, has spent more than 2 months investigating. The journey started in Çeşme in Turkey on the 22nd of February, when around 180 people boarded the smuggler's boat heading to Calabria in Italy. Hours into the trip, they broke down and transferred onto the Summer Love vessel. The Mediterranean is one of the most dangerous migrant routes in the world. More than 1,000 people have already died this year attempting to get to Europe. 32-year-old Zarin paid €8,000 to cross. After fleeing violence in Afghanistan, he was hoping for a new life.
کل مقصر کاپیتان است چون ما رو گل زد و جان خیلی خانواده باعث شد ما کشتی ما بزرگه ما 70 یا 80 نفر تو کشتی زیادتر نمیذاریم ما بعرف نقول قد وقت كومادم.
This 3D reconstruction shows you how overcrowded the boat was. Almost 200 people packed inside. While the smugglers stayed up top, the families were crammed below in little rooms for most of the journey. They say there were no life jackets. Much of the time, they were locked in to avoid detection. Initially, the weather was good. Here a small group celebrates, believing they've reached Italian waters. They have no idea they're heading towards a storm and a fatal crash. More than 5 hours before the crash, Summer Love is spotted by a Frontex border patrol plane, Eagle 1. At 10:26 Italian time, the heat-seeking cameras show one person on deck, but pick up a significant thermal response, noting more people could be below. They alert the Italian authorities to the ship as a suspected migrant vessel and note no life jackets are visible. Strong winds have already disrupted their flight, but despite this, they do not class the boat as in distress. In the hours that follow, the weather worsens. Italian authorities send out 2 boats to intercept the Summer Love, but both turn around due to the storm. No rescue operation is launched. This doesn't happen until the first distress call is received at around 4 a.m., by which time the Summer Love is sinking and dozens of people are drowning.
السفينة خبطت بشي فأنا حسيت بأنه السفينة عم تغرق وصارت تفوت المي من الخلف.
Assad was on board with his uncle and 6-year-old brother Sultan. They'd fled Syria hoping to meet family in Germany. A new life Sultan would never live to see.
حملت أخي ونطينا أنا وأخي وخالي على المي. ضلينا 3 ساعات بالمي تقريبا. بعد ساعة من البرد، من كثر ما كان في برد، بس بحدود الساعة 4 الصبح مات الولد بعد ساعة.
Sultan froze to death in his brother's arms. His uncle shows us his little grave. After the boat sank, rescuers scoured the sand for survivors, the desperate who'd managed to make it to shore. But the body bags kept on lining up. An 8-month-old baby and 70-year-old pensioner believed to be among the dead.
Who do you blame for what happened that night?
الحكومة الإيطالية لا تحركوا ولا عملوا شيء ولا سووا شيء ولا عملوا شيء نهائيا يعني. ونحن غرقت السفينة تبعنا شي الساعة 3:30 4 الصبح. يعني في تقريبا 6 ساعات 7 ساعات. كان ما توفى حدا يعني.
We contacted the Italian Coast Guard and Guardia di Finanza to ask why a rescue wasn't launched sooner. They said they couldn't comment due to an ongoing investigation into the crash. Frontex denied any wrongdoing, saying when they filmed the boat, it wasn't in distress, and that all of their findings went to the Italian authorities, who have the power to launch a search and rescue. But many who made this crossing, hoping for new lives, believe they were forgotten. Siobhan Robbins, Sky News.
A man who was arrested on suspicion of manslaughter after the deaths of 2 children at Bournemouth Beach has been released under investigation while police try to work out what happened. Officers from Dorset Police are standing guard by a boat believed to have been in the area at the time of Wednesday's incident as well. Ashna Hirinag has this report.
A half-term holiday nightmare. It started with panic on Bournemouth Beach on Wednesday afternoon after 10 people got into difficulty in the water and ended with 2 children losing their lives. Holidaymakers watched on in horror. Those in the water had tried to help, but to no avail. A 12-year-old girl from Buckinghamshire and a 17-year-old boy from Southampton were taken to hospital and later died. The 2 children weren't related and had been visiting the area.
A man in his 40s who was arrested on suspicion of manslaughter and was on the water at the time has now been released under investigation whilst inquiries continue.
Early investigation indicates that there was no physical contact between a vessel and any of the swimmers at the time of the incident. I can also confirm there is no suggestion of people jumping from the pier or jet skis being involved.
Hundreds had been at the beach. According to the online tracker Marine Traffic, this boat made numerous circuits in the waters off Bournemouth Pier on the day, including around the time of the incident. Police are standing by the pleasure boat called the Dorset Belle, which is moored in Poole Harbour, but the police could not confirm it was connected to the investigation.
Officers are keen to squash speculation, but the lack of answers fuels the mystery. How these waters suddenly became unsafe and deadly. There were a number of attempts to try and clear the beach as chaos ensued. Onlookers praised the efforts of response teams who reacted within minutes. The leader of the council told me the incident was extremely rare.
But you can see the beach is busy. You know, Bournemouth is popular. It is a safe place to come. It is a wonderful destination for people to come down and enjoy, you know, the outside. And we will carry on doing everything we can to make sure that the beach and the sea are as safe as they possibly can be for everybody.
For two families, it is too late, but their loss is punctuated by so many unknowns. Ashna Harinag, Sky News in Bournemouth.
Well, a short while ago, Ashna gave us the very latest from Bournemouth.
There's very limited information that the police have managed to give us surrounding what they may be doing standing by this particular boat which is moored at Poole Harbour. We know, we've seen that they have a presence there, but they cannot confirm whether it is linked to this investigation or not. There are so many unknowns within this case. A man in his 40s who had been arrested on Wednesday afternoon on suspicion of manslaughter has now been released under investigation. Inquiries very much are continuing for Dorset Police. The key facts that we learnt yesterday are that there's no suggestion that these two young people had been involved with jet skis or in jumping off the pier. That had been some of the rumour that had been swirling. We also know there had been no contact between a vessel and swimmers. It is thought that these 10 people had been in the water already, and very little is known about the circumstances which led to the deaths of this 12-year-old girl and this 17-year-old boy. Thoughts really do turn to them and their families and how they must be feeling, because they still are left with so many questions. We learnt yesterday from Dorset Police that there is so much speculation they are really keen to stamp it out, but in truth they don't have very many leads to go off at the moment. It is simply to do with the fact they need people to come forward to help them with that investigation. Videos, images, anyone who would have been on this beach. It's half-term holidays here in the UK, which means this beach had hundreds, if not thousands of people on it. And loads of people would have seen those dozens of emergency vehicles trying to help those 10 people get out of the water and help them in what was a clearly quite distressing time, not only for onlookers but also for the emergency response teams too. And their response has been praised by those who were here yesterday. But so many questions, not only for people here within Bournemouth, but also the families of those two young people too.
Now, ministers are preparing for a legal battle over the COVID inquiry. The government seeking to challenge the request for Boris Johnson's unredacted WhatsApp messages and diaries. Let's go live to Westminster and our political correspondent, Rob Powell. And Rob, just talk us through why the government is making this challenge, or our understanding of why. Is it around the specifics of certain messages that they fear being released, or more the principle at stake and the precedent it might set?
So the government says it's about the principle, about content which they say is unambiguously irrelevant, that contains personal information and things like that, that shouldn't be handed over to a public inquiry. That shouldn't essentially be within the scope of the public inquiry. That is why they're having this row primarily about whether or not to hand over a lot of information related to Boris Johnson's time in office. In the last literally 2 minutes, though, we have had a letter that has been published from Boris Johnson's team, essentially a letter going from the former Prime Minister to the COVID inquiry, which I can read you part of now. It is essentially saying that he will be sending the inquiry all of the unredacted WhatsApps that he has provided to the Cabinet Office, and he would do the same with any material that may be on an old phone which has been previously he was previously told he cannot access safely. Now, this goes to accusations from the government that essentially Boris Johnson hadn't handed over messages, all of the relevant messages to them, because in May 2021 he changed phones for security reasons after his mobile phone number was found to be online. So now Boris Johnson saying that the messages that he will give directly to Baroness Hallett, the chair of the COVID inquiry, includes the messages stretching back before May 2021, which is clearly a crucial time because it includes the initial lockdowns. He has also said in this letter that he's asked the Cabinet Office for assistance in turning on this phone securely. He'd been advised not to turn it on for security reasons, and so that he can search it for all relevant material. In terms of his notebooks that form part of this row about what goes to the inquiry as well, Boris Johnson has said that he no longer has physical access to his notebooks because they were removed from his office by the Cabinet Office, and he's asked that the Cabinet Office pass these to you. If the government chooses not to do so, I will ask for them to be returned to my office so I can provide you to them directly. So essentially, Boris Johnson, after previously saying that he believes the Cabinet Office should hand this information over, he is now deciding to bypass government and the Cabinet Office completely and hand over this disputed material directly to the inquiry. So he is clearly trying to send out a message that he is not the block here. He's happy for this to be transparent. I think many will read in to this that there is a degree of politics going on here, though. Boris Johnson essentially is putting the government and the Cabinet Office in a fairly awkward position by making them the institution, if you like, that is going up against the COVID inquiry. And specifically, it's the Cabinet Office which is going up against the COVID inquiry. And it's the Cabinet Office which Boris Johnson has had some disputes with fairly recently over Partygate accusations and allegations that were handed to police. So Boris Johnson clearly wanting to send out this message that he is not the block here, but I think in the process many will suspect that he is putting the government and the Cabinet Office in a difficult position and piling pressure on them as well.
Rob Powell, thanks so much for joining us. This is Sky News Today, and coming up, why the pandemic has led to an increase in violent watch thefts.
After a lifetime in the spotlight, we all know Harry's feelings on the press.
Prince Harry to give evidence. Harry's hatred of the British tabloid press is well documented. The claimants say that those at the very top knew about phone hacking. It'll be the first time since the 19th century the senior royal has been called to the witness box.
Full coverage on Sky News.
Violent watch robberies are on the rise as thieves try to get their hands on luxury timepieces that have become more valuable since the pandemic. Sky News heard one victim's terrifying ordeal and spoke to a seller who's going to extra lengths to protect his customers. A warning that Rachel Venables' report contains violent scenes from the start.
Followed, threatened and beaten for their watches.
Oh, I'm calling police! I'm calling the police!
On the streets of Britain, watch thefts are on the rise.
And there's a break there and a break there.
Nick Triggs and his wife were attacked at random and robbed in West London last January.
A black BMW X5 screeches to a halt beside me. The door opens, a guy gets out and smashes me on the left cheekbone. There's another person showing me a 15-inch machete. I think, is he going to kill me? Another one, I think the first guy shouts, "Give me your watch."
After a police helicopter chase through central London, a gang of 6 men were eventually caught and convicted over a rampage of violent robberies.
Nick was targeted near South Kensington, one of the wealthiest parts of London. These are the sorts of areas the gangs operate in. They'll wait outside high-end restaurants or bars, even watch shops, and they also use social media to find their victims. If you post a picture of your expensive watch, say with your live location, well, they know where to find you.
In many areas, it's actually overtaken drugs as the crime of choice for some criminal gangs. Drugs are obviously very dangerous to carry, to hold, to transport, whereas watches are very simple and very rarely questioned. As an example, you can't get on a plane with a kilo of cocaine, but you can get on a plane with £1 million for stolen watches, and I very much doubt that anyone will even bat an eyelid. The criminal gangs know this, they use that to their advantage.
Since 2015, the number of watches stolen in England and Wales has nearly doubled. More than 11,000 were stolen last year, over half here in London.
So here we have a Rolex Daytona with a mother-of-pearl dial with diamond indexes.
Since the pandemic, there's been a boom in the value of second-hand watches. That's what's driving the criminals.
Not a lot of watches were produced, so the value increased massively. This would have been around £100,000 just before lockdown. Today it's around £185,000.
Danny's become so worried he's now offering a free chauffeur service to get customers home safely. These gangs have clearly found an easy way to make a lot of money, with little care of how their brutal violence scars their victims. Rachel Venables, Sky News.
Now time for a quick look at the weather.
Warm memories wherever you go.
SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Hole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Vedase.
Turn it on. Turn it up. Broadcasting live online.
Body is your ma. Bekutu, show them you got the coco set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
When your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Star Radio UK and The Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Star Radio. Star Radio. Radio for the people, by the people. Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make the doubt they fade. Jesus, and that's what makes
This is Starr Radio UK. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute you all and welcome you to the Friday edition of the Morning Show. Today is the 2nd day of June, the year 2023, with the time now 10:41 from the hearts of London. And once again, I say welcome to Star Radio UK and the Morning Show. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
But this morning we're gonna be looking into lots of story that is making the rounds. But you know what? Wherever it is, just stay tuned. Don't turn that down, because I'm gonna make sure you enjoy the show. Yes. Okay, so let me say good morning to my team this morning. Mr. Francis Guy, my able producer, Mr. Olaimi Koiki. Today he will be working behind the scenes because, well, it is the children are on half term, and today is family time for Mr. Olaimi Koiki. We are family, you know what? Yeah. At times I also take family time. Now he has to take his family time today to be with the kids as well and spend some quality time with them. And let me say good morning also to Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services and Money Man. Also spending some quality time with the kids there as well. To Mrs. Evelyn Tabiri, yeah, and the girls, good morning to you. Pastor Salome Ado, good morning to you. And to Pastor Joseph Ado, oh, you wonderful people, I salute you. Reverend Michael, good morning. Reverend Michael, Bishop Michael, you see, I salute you all. Felicia and all the family, I salute you all. One who took my... And let me take this opportunity to say good morning to Bishop Adeshina, Anthony Adede G. Olakunle, that's why Aziz, Sir Maxwell, Moyua, Shamsuddin, and to you all wonderful people who have tuned in this morning to listen to us on Starr Radio UK. I salute you, and I once again say welcome to the show. Let me say morning to Kojo D and to Felix all the way in Aberdeen as well. So David Amani, good morning. I hope you are doing very, very well. And to all my little ones there. So coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, so for those of you who are tuning today to listen to us on the morning show, this is how the program goes. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates as well. We'll move from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. Then at 11 o'clock, I bring you updates from Nigeria. Since we're not going to be having Mr. Olaimi Koiki live on, he's fed me with some of the information that is going on there, or some of the news there, and therefore I'll be bringing it your way. But you'll be with me, won't you? And let me also say good morning to... Greatly to be praised. Regina Enima, Auntie Reggie, good morning to you as well, to the family. Okay. Then after the updates from Nigeria, 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. We'll move on from there. And then we look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. At 12 o'clock, the lines are open. Then you can add your voice to the discussions. At 12:30, we'll bring the first part of the program to close and we'll take you to Kent, where our Money Man is to bring you the Money Hour. So in a gist, that's what's going to happen. To all the presenters on Starr Radio UK, I salute each and every one of you. And once again, I say, welcome to the show, Starr Radio UK. 10:46 the time, and let's crack on. Now, when it comes to the quote for the day, it says, spend more time adding value to yourself, and you'll be amazed how your job will be easy for you. Spend more time adding value to yourself, and you'll be amazed how easy your job is going to be for you, because you acquire more experience there, spending more time on yourself, in building yourself, your capacity, right? Good. All right then. Now let's move on straight to the weather front as well. Let me tell you what's happening on the weather front for London and the southeast of England, and of course, for the weekend as well. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. Starr Radio UK. Okay, so when it comes to the weather front today, we're going to be having, this afternoon, we'll see mostly of the early cloud dissipating. Dry conditions with plenty of sunshine for the rest of the day. There will be a light, not easily breeze as well. Tonight will remain dry with some clear spells, clear skies, call it. Now towards the end of the night, a few patches of cloud may drift in from the northeast. When it comes to the weather front, well, the temperature My apologies. When it comes to the temperature is going to be 19 degrees. The lowest is going to be 8 degrees. Pollen level is going to be high. UV level high. Pollution is going to be low as well. Now, sunset is going to be at 21:09 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 04 for the 8 hours. Now, when it comes to the temperatures for the weekend, we're going to be seeing, that's for tomorrow. We're going to be seeing tomorrow morning any early cloud dissipates there as well, giving way to a dry cloud and fine day with extensive sunshine throughout. A warmer day. So tomorrow, brace yourself. It's going to be warm for you. If you have any activities, you can get on with it. Now, come Sunday as well. Sunday will see extensive sunshine from most of the day, but later in the day, some low cloud will move in from the northeast. Now, Monday is expected to be largely dry, though. Okay, so the temperatures will be ranging for Saturday 22 degrees and the lowest 9 degrees. Sunday 21 degrees and the lowest 9 degrees there as well. So that's by way of the weather forecast for you today and over the weekend. So wherever you are, I say once again, welcome to the show. And I know that if you have any plans or you want to share with us what is happening pertaining to your area and the weather there, feel free to do so. It is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take this quick break and then I take you straight to the roads for the travel updates.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I'm keeping navigated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio Traveler update that comes away every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:50, but let's crack on with it. So what is happening on the travels this morning for you? For those of you in London and the southeast of England, well, and I mean, those of you in London, let me put it that way. Yes, on the underground line, second line has got severe delays due to train cancellations. That aside, all the underground lines have got good service. London Overground, DLR, and London Tramlink has got good service there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads. Now moving on straight to the major roads in London. No exceptional delays there. I think everything seemed to be taken along very, very nicely. Yesterday, there were lots of traffic in town, but hey, this morning, it seems to be taken along nicely. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. Also keep it navigated. Now, on the riverbank this morning, I can tell you assuredly good service there as well. And then the London Cable Car good service there as well. But that brings me straight to the National Rail, where we have few incidents here and there, some strikes taking place over today to tomorrow. For those who are going for various events, Wembley, Epsom, and all stuff there, you know. Okay, so on the National Rail this morning, Chiltern Railways has got special service, cross country, severe delays, Gatwick Express, no service, Great Northern special service, Great Western Railway severe delays, Southeastern minor delays, Southern special service, Thameslink special service, and Transport for Wales have got minor delays. So as I would say all the time, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. But I say to you once again, enjoy your comment for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program, Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
This is the morning show, Archie.
Okay, let's crack on. Let's go across the globe looking at the global trotting stories making the rounds. And let me say good morning to Sam Moses. He said, Archie and Olayomi and the team. Peleo Heights. It's good to see you all, you guys again. All your efforts to give us vital information. Yes, Sir Moses, I hope you are doing very, very well. We thank God Nigeria has not happened to you, but it's now time for us to go global trotting. So let's see what is happening when it comes to what I'm going to be looking at from Nigeria. These are some of the headlines. Fayemi breaks silence on EFCC probe over alleged 4 billion naira fraud. I'll be bringing you more on that. And 10th NAS, I'll be speaker. Come June 13, Abbas boasts of it. Who is Abbas? Why is he boasting of it? Okay. And the maritime workers threaten strike nationwide. It's another story making the rounds in Nigeria this morning. And INEC reveals real winner of Kaduna governorship election. What are they talking about there? Real winner? Well, more going to be coming your way from there. And NAS leadership. Tinubu meets Lawan, Bajamia Miller over successes. So, okay. So we'll see who will be replacing what. But it looks like Tinubu hit the ground running, right? Now, fuel subsidy removal. NLC rules out strike action on Friday. Well, and then subsidy regime ended in February 2022. And that's some of the stories. And Nigeria's constitution must be respected. Yari declares after meeting NNPP leadership there as well. Now moving on. Nigeria Air reps summon Aviation Ministry permanent secretary there as well. So those are some of the stories making the rounds there. This will come your way from Star Radio UK. In depth going to come your way. My Bishop Adesina, massive good morning to you and to all the staff there, your colleagues there as well. We salute each and every one of you because you know that you make our day, even as we also enjoy. We do our best to present whatever we have to present to you. Thank you very much. Moses says Yoruba Nation and Biafra Nation are our joint efforts and a task that must be done. I believe that one day when our new nation Yoruba comes to surface, you will be there. Of course, I'll be there. I'm gonna be there. All right then. Okay. So now let's move on straight to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Eswatini, 2 pro-democracy MPs convicted of terrorism. 2 pro-democracy MPs in Africa's last absolute monarchy, Eswatini, were found guilty on Thursday of terrorism and murder in connection. I'm going to bring you more or some violence that took place, but I'm going to bring you more on that one as well. Okay. And then Zimbabwean parliament approves controversial new law ahead of election. What does that new law entail? Going to bring your way. Now, Sonko conviction will use the means at our disposal to challenge it. That's what his lawyer is saying. Well, Sonko didn't appear in the courts that was yesterday, but he's been sentenced to a 2-year imprisonment. Okay. This is proper. Give a dog a bad name and you can hang it. Well, so he is the most contentious person when it comes to the presidency, and therefore if they say that you've been found guilty, you're going to go down for 2 years, he's going to got a dog's chance to run the election. Well, by his team are saying that, you know what, we're going to do everything legally to challenge that conviction. But do you think they are going to get anything different from that? That is the problem. Are the laws actually working? Okay. Now, Tunisian judges denounce stronghold on the judiciary. Tunisian judges, lawyers, and activists demonstrated on Thursday against the government dismissal of more than 50 judges a year ago. Why did they dismiss them? But well, the judges will tell you more. And then 13 lives lost from toxic porridge consumption in Namibia. A sad one there. And Senegal opposition figure Sonko sentenced to 2 years in prison for corrupting young people. And in Sudan, Army Chief Bernard filmed with troops. Well, I thought that the war had subsided, but it looks like no. Freedom threatened by terrible new demonstration and unrest back in the one and only Zimbabwe. Okay. And then when it comes to Ghana as well, chiefs endorsing candidates and political parties unconstitutional. That is what the Supreme Court is saying. If you look at a typical example of the Asante Hene, he doesn't, everybody who comes, he says, yes, you are my son, so yes, I bless you, and then so everybody seems to be, no partiality, but if you know that you are the real son, you know it, but it doesn't come out openly to actually sort of endorse the candidate. But what do you think about that? The Supreme Court has come out quickly to rule that on as well. But what do you think? How come that when it came to the Auditor General's case, that the Supreme Court was a bit, should I call it late to rule on that? Or is it because nobody tabled it and therefore nothing of the sort was done? Okay. K2 North, my apologies, disgruntled NDC members call for rerun of parliamentary primaries. And then 3 arrested over attacks on Mempasam and Lukula communities. I don't know where that is, but I'm going to be telling you more about that. As a not by election, upper campaigns for Judge Kwesi. He did the right thing with everything that seemed to be looming around him, where they say that, well, there's a tendency that he's going to be sentenced or he's going to face a criminal trial there for breaking the laws of elections. And as I did talk about yesterday, now, if the custodian, that is the EC, that is supposed to do diligence to make sure that whoever is vying for that position actually meets the criteria, fail to do diligence, then Judge Kwesi, if his position has been annulled, then why should only him, if there is going to be anything of the sort, face a criminal charge? Then of course, then I believe that the EC must also be held culpable. Now, what do you think about all that? More story is going to come your way. Still in Ghana, insider details of how Tunfu Asante Council, this 96-year-old chief of Antois. Oh, now that place, yeah. Then the Asante I think he's got more power. He managed to distill Antois Hene, chief of Antois. Okay. Now, R.I.P. Peter Namfuri, a venerable Messiah. I owe lifelong tons of gratitude. And I know one of their daughters here in the UK who went back there, and we hope that he's resting in perfect peace. Okay, let's start ready, UK. Bear with us. Ability to pay your bonds, a struggle. Ministry of Finance begs pensioners. Well, the pensioners decide to embark on another strike. The Deputy Finance Minister Abena Asare has said the government's failure to meet coupon deadlines for pensioners bondholders is not on purpose. We don't intentionally stop them. Sometimes it's difficult. It is the ability to pay, and so when it's not there, it becomes a challenge. But are we paying the ministers of government appointees all the things? I mean, their garden, their clothes allowance, their fuel allowance. Are we paying all that? Do we have the means to do so? Now, why can't we prepare and make sure that these people also, pensioners, contributed into their whole life or whatever it is to the states, and then it's start time for the state to actually give them what is due them, and we say, you know what? It's not that we don't want to give you. We want to give you, but we don't have. Really? Okay. So coming away from Star Radio UK, it is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, last night, the sad debacle where a White House says Biden is fine after all after a fall on stage. Well, when Trump was asked that question whilst he was doing some Q&A, he just said that, well, that is nothing that he isn't. It's not a story to him. That means that is something that is happening. Now, young Junior Donald Trump also he made a comment saying when he was also asked the question or on the tweet, they say that, well, how many times has Joe Biden fallen when the cameras have not been rolling? That means that there's been lots of falling there. So he's saying that, well, he's going to rerun for the presidency. Do you think it's wise at all? He's now 80, very frail. There are some people who are 80 and they are very strong. Okay? But unfortunately, Joe Biden doesn't seem to fall into that category. All right? So what do you think? But who will be the candidate for them? Who will be able to meet Donald Trump boot for boot if he decides to, after this falling and everything, decide that, look, I'm not going to vie for that position? What happens? Okay. Star Radio UK. Now, BRICS Minister calls for rebalancing of global order. The talks attended by Russia in South Africa are clouded by allegation of war crimes in Ukraine. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. And Congress approves debt deal averting a U.S. default. Yesterday we were saying that Joe Biden will now sign the measure into law, starving of worldwide economic chaos. Okay, well done there. 1,000 days in solitary confinement in Iran. Amnesty International says Vahid Afkari was wrongly convicted and should be immediately released. This is Iran, and I tell you that they don't give a hoot whatever you do. I mean, they will arrest you if you like. If you can do some exchange or do some payment, if you owe them, you can bring that. Then that may be something that will help, but it doesn't look so. Now, Mexican police find 45 bags of human remains. Now, officials were searching a ravine near Guadalajara for 7 young people reported missing last week and ended up finding 45 bags of human remains. How many people have been killed there? More going to be coming your way. Will Australia see a war crimes reckoning? A court has upheld reports that a top soldier killed unarmed Afghans, but wider questions remains. Okay. Now let's move on to the UK. Look at some of the stories making the rounds here. Now, Scofield apologizes and says his career is over. The former ITV host said his affair with a young male colleague was a grave error. And the government will probably lose COVID legal case. Science Minister George Freeman thinks the challenge is set to fall flat in the face, but says it is worth testing. But the question is, if the former Prime Minister has actually submitted the undocumented messages and everything, files and everything that he had, why is the current Prime Minister or the government saying that we're not going to give it to you? We're not going, because he was saying that, come on, get on with it, give it to them. So that means that he got nothing to hide. Everything, at least everybody knows it. But he thinks that, well, I'm not going to be doing that yet. Why? Is it because they got some cockroach in their cupboards and they don't want to air it, or they don't want to wash their dirty linen in public? What do you think? It's all coming away from Star Radio UK. A lot more going to be coming away from there. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. It is the Friday edition of the morning show, bringing the time to 6 minutes past the top of the hour. So let's enjoy this song from Pastor Theodore Abuachi, and he says, what? Everlasting to everlasting. Enjoy it, and I will be with you.
Emmanuel. You are the first and the last. The Alpha and Omega. Swear we bow down and worship you. And we lift
This
you
is
high.
Starr Radio UK.
Let me say good morning and a happy birthday to Pastor Sade Adeyemi. It's your birthday today, Pastor Sade. Yes, God bless you. God bless you. And to any one of you celebrating your birthdays today, wherever you are, or special day, maybe a wedding, maybe an anniversary, whatever it is, whatever, even if you are crying, our thoughts are with you. But we say have a lovely day. God bless. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
away. from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 17 minutes past the top of the hour, and it's the Friday edition of the morning show. I am your one and only
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
Thank you very much for staying on to listen to us from the various platforms that we are broadcasting on. I hope that you are enjoying the show. But now, it is now time for us to go to Nigeria for the updates from Nigeria. Okay, first of all, well, the immediate past governor of Ekiti State and former chairman of the Nigerian Governorship Forum, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, has refuted the claim that he is underproved by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over an alleged 4 billion naira fraud. Fayemi, in a statement on Friday by the head of the Fayemi Media Office, Abuja, Malam Ahmad Sajo, said during his visit to the EFCC, no such allegation was raised during his conversation with officials of the anti-graft agency. The statement, however, noted that all Fayemi did during the conversation with officials of the EFCC in Ilorin, Kwara State, was respond to a frivolous petition from a group that was trying to soil his good name and image. The statement read, "We would like to address the concerns surrounding the invitation and subsequent visit of Dr. Kayode Fayemi, the immediate past governor of Ekiti State and former chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, to the Ilorin Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission." Now, last month, Dr. Fayemi received an invitation from Ilorin Office of the EFCC regarding a money laundering petition against him. Now, it was during the height of the preparation for the change of government, with many activities and programs lined up as part of the event. Now, a key member of the APC, Dr. Fayemi, was already committed to playing important roles at the event, and his non-appearance would have impacted them significantly. Understanding the significance of the commitment at that time, Dr. Fayemi duly notified the EFCC of his willingness to cooperate, but requested a more suitable date for his appearance. Now, the statement said, Fayemi on Thursday, accompanied by his counsel, visited the EFCC office in Ilorin and engaged in fruitful discussions with investigators before being allowed to depart after a few hours. It added, "We firmly believe that Dr. Fayemi visit has provided answers to the agency's inquiries regarding the petition. However, should there be any need for further clarification, Dr. Fayemi stands ready to cooperate fully." In a quote, it goes on further to say, "We wish to note Two, that contrary to the news that made the rounds about a purported 4 billion naira fraud case against Dr. Fayemi, no such allegation was raised in his conversation with the EFCC. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK with the updates from Nigeria. So, in Nigeria, I will be Speaker come June 13, Abbas boasts. The All Progressive Congress anointed candidate for the position of Speaker and Deputy Speaker for the 10th House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kalu, respectively, yesterday met behind closed doors with President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The meeting is coming on the heels of inauguration of the 10th leadership of the National Assembly, slated for the 13th of June 2023. Now, speaking to journalists after the meeting, Abbas boasted that come June 13, he will be the next Speaker of the House of Representatives, with Kalu being his deputy. He also dispelled the rumors that the 10th Assembly will be a rubber stamp, saying nobody could manipulate the 360 members to make them do what will not be of national interest. But I ask the question again, really? Really? Okay. He said further that the independence of the legislature will not be compromised under their leadership. Now, Abbas said, "My name is Tajuddin Abbas from the National Assembly, and with me is my colleague who, by the grace of God, come June 13, 2023, will be the next Speaker, inshallah, and the Deputy Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives of the National Assembly." Now, on the reasons for their visit, he said, "You may recall that 2 or 3 days ago, Mr. President, the reign of power was handed over to him on May 29. And since then, we did not have any formal interactions, or we've not had any formal interactions. It went further to say, we felt that it is expedient as the candidates of the party for the number 4 and number 6 positions, there is a need for us to formally congratulate him on behalf of the members elect of the 10th Assembly." So he's saying that, though we all come from the same party, though we are there to support the president, we are not going to be a rubber stamp House of Representatives. But what do you think there? This and a lot more going to be coming your way. But let's move on. The Maritime Workers of the Workers Union of Nigeria has threatened to shut down ports and terminals, as well as oil and gas platforms nationwide, over lingering unresolved issues with shipping companies in Nigeria. The President General of the MWUN, Adewale Adeyanju, who disclosed this yesterday during a media briefing, said that owing to the unwillingness of employers to negotiate minimum standards and conditions of service for its members in the shipping sector, it was left with no option but to withdraw services of all members nationwide with effect from Monday, June the 5th, 2023. He lamented the nonchalant attitude of shipping firms management to discuss and negotiate welfare and conditions of service of members in the shipping sector. He said this was despite several interventions and meetings which sought an amicable resolution and unresolved issues, culminating in the issuance of a 7-day ultimatum after the expiration of a previous 14-day ultimatum earlier issued. The MWN chief recalled that the former Minister of Transportation, Azul Sambo, in a bid to ensure a peaceful industrial climate in the shipping sector, had directed the management of the Nigerian Shippers Council, that the NSC, to superintend a collective bargaining meeting between the union and shipping companies in Nigeria. Adeyanjo, my apologies, lamented that despite several meetings called at the instance of the NSC, the shipping firms' representatives deliberately forestalled their negotiations. Okay. So he went on further to say, Representatives deliberately forestalled the negotiation process, alleging lack of a mandate from their respective principals and insisting on maintaining the status quo. So it is Starr Radio UK, updates from Nigeria coming your way. I am Archie. As I did say, Mr. Olayomi Koiki is having some time with the family since it is half term here, and therefore he needs to spend some quality time with them. And I hope that wherever you are, parents here, especially in the UK, are doing so. All right then. Now, going on with some of the updates from Nigeria, the real winner of the March 18 governorship election, Kaduna State, has finally been revealed. The nation's electoral umpire, INEC, recently told the election tribunal that Uba Sani, the APC candidate, won the Kaduna gubernatorial election, noting that the poll was free and fair. Now, INEC had invited the tribunal to note a major constitutional error in the petition brought by the PDP challenging the outcome of the 18th March 2023. The Independent National Electoral Commission has revealed that the winner of the March 18 gubernatorial election in Kaduna State. So that's what they've done. So how did that pan out, or give a reflection on what is happening on the apologies on the tribunal that is sitting for the presidential election as well, that has been tabled by the PDP and the Labour Party. Okay, moving on to some more stories. The NAS leadership, Tinubu meets Lawan and Gbajabiamila over successes. Now, President Bola Tinubu met with Senate President Ahmad Lawan and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, on Thursday in Abuja over the choice of leadership for the 10th National Assembly. Mr. Lawan told journalists after meeting that the President emphasized the need for the right choice of leadership for the National Assembly. He goes on further to say, Mr. Lawan told journalists after the meeting that the President, now he said Mr. Tinubu maintained that the emergence of the leadership should be in the national interest, in the interest of National Assembly and of the legislature. But the question is, I thought that if the ruling party candidate even becomes the leader, then the deputies should come from, or I don't know how many deputies that they have, the first deputy or the second deputy or the deputies should come from some of the other parties that are represented in the House of Representatives. So what is happening there? Okay, he said Mr. Tinubu maintained that the emergence of the leadership should be in the national interest, in the interest of National Assembly and the legislature. We are getting somewhere, and our prayers is that we are able to resolve all the outstanding issues. Mr. President is positively disposed to everything being done smoothly. We believe that Mr. President, having been a senator himself, and his vice President also having been a senator, will always wish and pray for the right leadership for the National Assembly, he said. He said, having been the chairman of the 9th National Assembly, it was necessary for him to work with all major stakeholders, especially with the leadership of the country. Mr. Lawan explained that Mr. Tinubu gave the necessary advice on how the new leadership of the National Assembly should emerge and what needed to be done to ensure its stability and productivity. He said the new leadership must ensure peaceful working relationship with the legislature and the executive arms of government. He went on further to say, I have never indicated interest to run for the office of the President of the Senate in the 10th National Assembly. We've worked together with distinguished senators of the 9th Assembly and members of the House of Representatives to create a very conducive environment for us to work. We have been productive, much more productive than any National Assembly. He worked very closely with the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, and that helped the administration a lot, Mr. Lawan said. Those of us who have been there longer owe everybody that responsibility to us, at least help to mentor those who are new if we are not going to be presiding officers or principal position, he added. Okay, So it's all Star Radio UK updates from Nigeria, a couple of stories more, and then we can bring the update to close with the time now at 11:30. Now, the Nigerian Labour Council has described the speculation that it has declared a nationwide protest that will begin on Friday over the recent withdrawal of fuel subsidy by the federal government as false or fake. The NLC Head of Information and Public Affairs, Benson Upa, made a clarification in a statement on Thursday in reaction to social media reports that the Congress planned to organize nationwide protests following the return of queues at filling stations and an increase in the prices of petroleum products by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited. While urging members of the public to disregard stories in the rumor mill, Upa assured the NLC will keep Nigerians informed on its next line of action after its meeting. Our intention, in the court said, has been drawn to stories circulating on the social media claiming that the NLC could begin protest action on June 2 against the increase in the pump price of petrol. And let me say once again, I think Mr. Francis Gaye, okay, just taking stuff there. All right then. In as much as we are outraged by this mindless price increase, which is intended to bring untold hardship to Nigerians, we have no plan to start any actions on June 2. What we do have now are organ meeting slated for June 2. It is to deliberate on the price issues, he said. So let's see what happens to the NLC after that meeting and what they are going to say their next course of action. But let me say good morning to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi as well. My Bishop, I hope you are doing very, very well. Nigeria's constitution must be respected. Who is speaking? Yari declares after meeting the NNPP leadership. Abdulaziz Yari, the former governor of Zamfara State, emphasized the supremacy of Nigerian constitution in his bid to contest the Senate presidency. Now, information coming through said the National Working Committee endorsed Senator Godswill Akpabio as the preferred candidate for Senate President and Jibrin Baru for deputy. Now, during a courtesy visit to the Nigerian People's Party leadership in Abuja on Thursday night, Yari expressed his commitment to engaging with relevant stakeholders. But a story that I put across earlier on talks about the fact that some other people have said, well, come the 13th of June, we are going to be the speaker. So not him. And we have gone on to go and congratulate the president for his inauguration. Now, Yari announced his intention to reach out to the leadership of other political parties, including the People's Democratic Party, Labour Party, Young People's Party, All Progressive Grand Alliance, and the Social Democratic Party, seeking their support. He asserted the Constitution holds supreme authority over any other law. Any legislation contradicting the Constitution is null and void. We are fully dedicated to the Nigerian project and firmly believe in the triumph of the Constitution. But it's the same Constitution that seems to be marginalizing other people. What do you think about all that? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 11:33, a final story. Repsamon Aviation Ministry, PEM Secretary. Now, following the controversial unveiling of the new national carrier Nigeria Air with an Ethiopian Airlines aircraft, the House of Representatives Committee on Aviation has summoned the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Aviation, Dr. Emmanuel Meribo, to an emergency meeting over the project. The committee, headed by Nolin Naji, directed Meribo to come along with every document and personnel connected with the proposed national carrier. Now, information coming through the Vanguard newspaper say that the federal government last Friday unveiled Nigeria Air, a development that created major uproar nationwide. It also gathered that Ethiopian Airlines had repainted and rebranded one of its Boeing 737-800 aircraft, which cost Nigeria 139.3 billion naira, that is $300 million, for just the painting job. However, in an invitation memo signed by the committee clerk Basi Edem, dated May 30, 2023, and the reference NASS subsection /9 /HR 17 /120. The committee invited those who had roles to play in the botched project. The moment read last Friday, May 26, 2023, the nation was awash with viral reports and videos of the unveiling of the Nigeria Air project under very controversial circumstances. As meeting of the parliament saddled with a responsibility of oversight and aviation sector of the economy, we deem it necessary to be fully briefed about the project. So maybe they bought it, genuinely, and everything is together. It's only that the painting that was not done properly, and therefore they could see behind that Ethiopian Airlines. But interestingly, let's take Ethiopia, let's take Nigeria. When it comes about wealth, resources, Nigeria goes far, far ahead of Ethiopia. But Ethiopia is able to manage its airline, and we still have Ethiopian Airlines flying. Most of us, when we are going to Africa and we think that maybe the prizes that we're getting is this, we chance on that. We fly to Addis Ababa and then maybe do reconnection from there, transit from there to Ghana, Nigeria, whichever countries that we, South Africa, and whatever that we want to go to because of the prices that we see, some of them. But if you look at such stories, you ask yourself the question, so can Nigeria manage it? And to cost a $300 million to paint a plane? What kind of paint did they use? Well. It is Starr Radio UK, and this is where we bring the updates from Nigeria to a close. And I promise you one thing for sure, that come Monday, God willing, we'll be having Mr. Olaimi Koiki in. Okay, a breaking news that has come through from Nigeria. Let me put that your way. And the story says the Supreme Court delays to release copy of its May 26 verdict on the People's Democratic Party case has stalled the Friday, June 2 hearing of the petition filed by the Allied People's Movement, the APC, before the President's Election Petition Court. Now, according to the Nation, the Apex Court dismissed the PDP suit, praying the court to void Bola Tinubu and Kashima's presidential and vice presidential tickets of the All Progressive Congress in 2023 election. In its argument, the PDP argued that Shettima did not comply with the Electoral Act as he allowed himself to be nominated for two different offices, which are Vice President and Bono Central Senatorial District. Well, there are some breaking stories or news that is making the rounds there. We're going to take a break. We're going to bring you some music. And I know those who are fighting, standing up for themselves, especially those in the Yoruba and those in the Igbo group, I know you are doing your best to make sure that your people enjoy the best when it comes to Niger. But let me bring you some of the other stories there quickly before we go. But the Igbo youth are planning a 2 million man march for Uzo Kalu and Bex Tinubu over Kano. I don't know how that's going to pan out though, but 2 million man march, that would be great if they are able to do that. Let me bring you details of that. Now, Kalu is the one that is vying to become the deputy speaker. So they would say that, well, we got ourselves represented there. But the story says, now Igbo youths under the aegis of the coalition of Southeast youth leaders have scheduled next week Monday to stage a 2 million march in Abuja in support of the Senate presidency ambition of Senator Archie Uzo Kalu. The group disclosed this in a communique signed by the President General Goodluck Ibem and Ndubuisi Uche, the secretary, and Oke Nwaru, the public city secretary, following the general meeting in Owerri, Imo State capital, on Wednesday. It partly read, Igbo youth groups under the aegis of the coalition of South East youth leaders have declared June 5 for a 2 million march in Abuja to press home its resolution that the Senate Chief Whip, Senator Oji Uzo Kalu, is authentic consensus candidate of the People's Southeast for the position of the Senate President of the 10th Assembly. Well, they go on further to say the Igbo Youth Group also urged President Bola Tinubu to release the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, whose health condition has worsened in the detention of the Department of the State Services. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is seriously sick and needs urgent, better medical treatment by his doctors, who knows his medical history and knows better how to treat him for a better medical result. This is pertinent to help reduce youth restiveness and insecurity in the Southeast. Now, addressing security challenges, it said that the federal government should declare a state of emergency on insurgency, terrorism, kidnapping, banditry, and other violence in the nation. The issue of insecurity is very important to resolve urgently so that the farmers can go back to the farm to cultivate and harvest crops for human consumption. Hunger kills faster than bullets. Food security is important to sustain human existence, it added. Well, so we hope to see what is going to happen on that front come Monday. Would they be able to garner 2 million people? That would be massive, wouldn't it? Well. But it's Starr Radio UK. Let's go on. Let's have a quick break and I'll be with you.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
there! Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Talk dog.
your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone.
A lovely tune for you there from Jeanette. Really me. Now I made your day if you are listening to us in Nigeria, wherever you are listening to us, and you hail from the Yoruba area, or you hail from Nigeria yourself. What about that? Your support for Yoruba Nation. Okay. God bless Yoruba Nation. As some would say, Samsudin, Mazigood. Morning to you. 9 minutes to the top of the hour, the time, the morning show, the program. I am yours sincerely, the one and only Archie. I'm going to take a quick break, and once we come back, I'm going to bring you everything that you need to know from what is happening on the African continent. Let me call it that way. The lines will be open in the next few minutes. But don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Yes, welcome back to the program, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I hope that you guys enjoyed the tune there, and I prepared you for the weekend as well. As I did say, so like me key how to spend some time with the family. Here we do have the family time, and they're on half term, and therefore, little ones, you spend some time with them, quality time with them, and that's exactly what it's doing. Mr. Tabiri is also doing the same. But hey, I'm actually here spending quality time with you. What about that? Well. All right then. So now let's go to Africa. Let's look at some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of Africa as well, and let's see what is going to be looked at. Wow, Sonko in Senegal is facing a 2-year sentence for what some of them are calling inciting, teaching youth bad deeds. It's all funny, but let me bring you that one first. According to Senegal yesterday, a sentence firebrand opposition leader Ousmane Sonko, a candidate in the 2024 presidential election, to 2 years jail term on charges of corrupting children, but acquitted him of rape and issuing death threats. It also sentenced Sonko's co-accused Ndeye Kadi Ndiaye, the owner of the beauty salon where Sonko was accused of repeatedly abusing an employee, to 2 years imprisonment. The 2-year-old case deeply divided the West African states, sparking clashes between Sonko supporters and security forces that battered the country's image of stability. Now, much attention has been focused on whether a conviction will prevent Sonko, that is 48 years, from contesting the next year's vote. By building a fervent following among disaffected youth, he has thrown down the gauntlet to President Macky Sall, portraying him as a corrupt and would-be dictator. Now, Sonko was not in court for the verdict. He was presumed to be at his Dakar home, where he had been blocked in by security forces after being detained at the weekend. He faced charges of raping a 23-year-old beauty salon worker who also accused him of making death threats. Now, corrupting youth, debauching or encouraging the debauchery of a person under the age of 21 is a lesser category of offense. But it also happens to threaten his eligibility under the electoral code. And one of his lawyers, GB Diani, said Osman Sonko's candidacy is in jeopardy. The court did not rule on whether he should be arrested. The decision to arrest him or not depends on the public prosecutor, Diane said. Now, on Thursday morning, security forces prevented journalists and Sonko supporters from approaching the house, throwing tear gas without warning at a group of reporters, including Arabs there on the ground. Now, Sonko has maintained his innocence and claims Starr is manipulating the judiciary to torpedo his political career, a charge the government denies. Of course, they will do. Now, if he had been convicted of rape, he would have faced up to 20 years imprisonment. Now, his electoral eligibility had already been overshadowed by 6 months suspended prison sentence for defamation against a minister. Now, Sonko, head of Pastor Patriots Party, leapt to national prominence in the 2019 when he came in third to Starr. On Tuesday, he urged the public to take to the streets. Everyone should rise up as one. He said on social media, power should remain with the people. Now, young people attacked the homes of at least 2 of the president's close aides. However, the damages was a far cry from what took place in 2021 when Sonko was initially arrested on the rape charges. Now, several days of clashes at the time left at least 12 people dead. Now, several people have died in a sporadic violence this year, including fatality that occurred at the weekend when police detained Sonko ahead of Thursday's hearing. At the heart of the trial were allegations by beauty salon worker Archie Starr. Now, Sonko denied any wrongdoing, saying he went to the salon for a massage for chronic back pain and that the case against him is politically motivated. But the court found him not guilty on that case. But let's see. Now, so on there, the Senegalese government praised the justice system following the conviction on Thursday of opposition leader Osman Sonko on charges of corruption. The court's announcement was followed by protests across the country. According to the Interior Ministry, 9 people were killed in the clashes. A politician was taken to the justice court by a woman who accused him of a number of things. The justice has done its job, which everyone has heard for days. There are threats in invective and intimidation. The role of the executive is to ensure that all institutions function. We were told that there will be no justice, that people don't recognize the Senegalese justice system. Its justice system has done its job, of course, with complete independence and transparency, said Senegalese government spokesperson Abdul Karim Fado. But Sonko's lawyer said a warrant had not yet been issued for the politician's arrest. Osman Sonko was sentenced to 2 years in prison. I bet what should be done, if I'm advising them, is to either just say he's not going to be able to run for the presidency because he's been convicted, and that he shouldn't be incarcerated, though. The worst case scenario will be him being on house arrest or 2 years bond of being in a good behavior. But what do you think? Okay. Still in Africa, now 2 pro-democracy MPs in Africa's last absolute monarchy, Eswatini, were found guilty on Thursday of terrorism and murder in connection with a wave of anti-regime protests that rocked the country in 2021. The 2 men, Nduduzi Basidi Mabuza and Mithandeni Dube, were tried by a court in the capital Mbambani almost 2 years after their arrest in July 2021. Now, charged with inciting demonstration, they had pleaded not guilty. I find accused guilty of all the charges against them, said the judge Mamsi Dlamini. They face up to 20 years in prison. Their sentence will be handed down at a date to be determined. The judge continued. Mr. Mabuza and Mr. Ndubi were arrested in the midst of a wave of demonstration calling for democratic reforms. These protests were severely repressed by the regime police, and dozens of protesters were killed. The two MPs had in particular called for reforms of the complex system, of election in which political parties, although theoretically authorized, are not allowed to participate. Parliamentary elections are due to be held on the 29th of September in the country formerly known as Swaziland. However, these elections are unlikely to change the political landscape in the South African country of 1.2 million inhabitants, ruled since 1986 by King Mzwati III, who is criticized for his extravagant lifestyle and regularly accused of rights violation. Now, elections in Eswatini are held in such a way that no one seriously challenges the monarch's power. The king appoints ministers, controls parliament, the police, and the army. He also appoints judges. So people think that it is already compromised. Now, what do you think about all that? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. One other story from the African front, and then we can go straight to Ghana, where there's lots happening on that front as well. Around in Zimbabwe. Now, Parliament in Zimbabwe has approved a controversial new law that criminalizes acts that damage the sovereignty and national interests of the Southern African country. The new law was passed hours after the government announced nationwide election for August 23. Critics claim the new law kills free speech. What they are criminalizing is differing opinion against ZANU-PF and different opinion from Mnangagwa himself, who is a presidential candidate for ZANU-PF, and this happens at the edge of an election, showing without any doubt that the envelope of reform is being done by ZANU. Contrary to what they put particularly in the international community that they are reforming, said Ostarlor's CZ Bar, a national deputy spokesperson for this opposition CCC party. A lawmaker from the ruling ZANU-PF party told Parliament that the new law aimed to encourage Zimbabweans to be patriotic. So you cannot criticize. So how do you be patriotic then if anything is going on, whether it's good or bad? Praise God. Let it go on. Do you think that is the right way? A lawmaker, the bill is the latest in a series of moves that criticize or critics say are aimed at shutting down dissenting voices in the run-up to the elections. One outspoken person said they want to be seen to be hardliners, so they want this law to try and put fear in the hearts of electorate, the hearts of the opposition, by using this bad law, which is coming on the eve of an election, said the national coordinator. 80 years old Emmerson Mnangagwa, who replaced strongman ruler Robert Mugabe in 2017 after a military-led coup, is seeking a second term in August. His main challenger is Nelson Chamisa, a 45-year-old lawyer and pastor who leads the recently formed CCC party. What is going to be their fate? Have they got representatives in the houses, in their parliament? Well, I'm going to be telling you more about that when the time comes. Yes, come next week, we'll be telling you more about that. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. A quick break. Let me have a sip of some water and then we go on. You have yourself whether water or tea or coffee, whichever is appropriate, applicable wherever you are, depending on the temperature. Let's have it and let's come back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 5 minutes past the top of the hour. The time, we've got another 25 minutes to go before I take you to Kent, where our money man is, to bring you the money hour. So wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial. As I would say, don't touch the dial. Okay? Don't touch the dial. Let's move on quickly. Okay. Just bear with me. Some information being sent to me.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Arta, you say fire.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 6 minutes past the top of the hour. And as I did say earlier on this afternoon, we're going to be having Mr. Tabiri, CEO. CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and we're going to be looking at the cost of living support that is in place for people here in the UK. Okay, yes, we'll be looking at that. That will be for our discussion today on the money hour. So make a date. Okay. So now let's move on straight to some of the other the stories making the rounds in Ghana. But let me announce the lines open. Call us on 0208-133-2257 or 58, 0208-133-2257 or 58. Now, if you happen to be in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, 0017183032737, 0017183032737. You can text or WhatsApp us 0753966144, 0753966144. Our Twitter handle is @Starr Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Don't you go away. All right. So, in Ghana, the Supreme Court has, in a unanimous decision, declared that it is unconstitutional for chiefs to endorse candidates or their party. The court, however, pointed out that chiefs praising or lauding the policy of a candidate is a permissible endorsement. Now, Justice Emmanuel Yoni Kulendi, who authored the November 2022 judgment of the court, explains that this conclusion is consistent with the role of a chief as a champion and an advocate for the welfare and interests of their communities. He nonetheless stated that other statements where a chief is heard to endorse the person of the candidate or his party by declaring their preferential support for the election of the candidate or his party is urging voters to vote for them are the kind of talking sides in partisan political context which the Constitution disapproves of. So this is the Apex Court decision in a case filed by legal practitioner Elam Kwame Goni against the Attorney General. It was heard by Justice Jones Joche, Gabriel Puamang, Nene Amegache, Professor Archie Kote, Mariama Owusu, Lovelace Johnson, and Emmanuel Yoni Kolendi. Now, Mr. Goni had urged the Apex Court to interpret active party politics as used in Article 276, subsection 1 of Ghana's Constitution, which provision states, a chief shall not take part in active party politics, and any chief wishing to do so and seeking election to parliament shall abdicate his tool or skin. He wanted the court to declare that certain chiefs who during the electioneering campaign leading up to the 2020 general election endorsed either the MPP's Nana Akufo-Addo or the NDC's John Dramani Mahama were engaged in active party politics. He argued that such an endorsement was a breach of the Constitution. The Attorney General took the view that the case raised no issue requiring the interpretation of the court. He pointed out that the word active is clear, unambiguous, and admits of no interpretation. The Attorney General further pointed out that a chief's endorsement of a candidate for elected political office without more cannot be said to constitute an engagement in active party politics. He insisted chiefs, like every citizen, have the right to freedom of speech and expression, as well as the freedom of thoughts, conscience, and belief. The Supreme Court, however, took the view that the phrase active party politics raises and presents an issue worth interpreting. Now, Justice Kolendi explained that it was important for the exact contours of or boundaries of what constitutes such participation to be determined. On the substantive issue of chiefs and politics, Justice Kolendi said chiefs occupy an elevated position in the social order and play an influential role in the governance and development of their communities and the country. It is on account of the exceptional social and public status of chiefs that although chiefs are not public officers, the Constitution disqualifies certain persons, notably persons convicted of offences involving fraud, dishonesty, or moral turpitude, from being chiefs. But so, if anybody has flouted that, can the court rule that they should be destooled or de-skinned? It is the same heightened concern with preserving and protecting the dignity of the chief's office that party underpins Article 276, subsection 1, is banning of chiefs from taking part in active party politics. He continued that the chiefs are not barred from expressing their opinions about matters that are subject of public debate and discussion. He added, strikes the right balance between he added, strikes the right balance between the rights of chiefs, the reasonable expectation associated with their role, and the public interest concerns that animated the sad constitutional provision. Mr. Gomi attached various statements made by some chiefs to his court document. The paramount chief of the Dwaya Nkwanta Traditional Council, Nana Boakye Tromo III, told the president, "You have distributed the national cake equitably, and we in Dwaya Nkwanta have gotten our fair share of the development." The publication proceed to state that, citing several examples of projects undertaken in Dwaya Nkwanta, together with policies such as free SHS, one district, one factory, and a program for planting for food and jobs, Nana Boakye Tromo III stated that this clearly shows that you have been sent by God to lead us. So that was virtually saying endorsement there. We are, it goes over that we are solidly behind you, and we are declaring today that 4 more for Nana, 4 more to do more. The Kronti Hine of Techimantia, Nana Ampong Kuramantan, is reported to have also said, "Today we just want to tell you that we in Techimantia will never forget you for the construction of the Bechem Techimantia Akomadan Road. Indeed, the presence of the lot of townsfolk at this Deba testifies to the fact that we have already accepted you as one of us. It is 4 more for you." On this part, the Omahine of Kenya say, number 1, Nana Kofi Ebri reportedly stated as follows there as well. We pleaded with him to construct our roads for us. We also needed a TVR institute, and he didn't ignore our request. So the chiefs are doing this, appreciating what the president has done. That doesn't mean that they shouldn't go the next step saying that we endorse you, but they can say we in our community agree and we are appreciative of what you have done for us. And therefore, short of saying 4 more years or we want you to be the candidate. So what is going to happen to these chiefs? Are they going to be destood? On the other hand, those other statements where a chief is heard to endorse the person of the candidate of the party or arguing voters to vote for them are the kind of talking sides or taking sides in the partisan political contest the constitution disapproves of. Okay, so what do you think? 16 minutes past the top of the hour. I think we have to bring the stories from Ghana to an end there, since we have to cross over. Okay, a quick one. The Deputy Finance Minister, Abinawase Asare, has said that government's failure to meet coupon deadlines for pensioners, bondholders, is not on purpose. We don't intentionally stop them. Sometimes it's difficult. It is the ability to pay, and so when it's not there, it becomes a challenge. But we also have to communicate that to you, she told the picketing pensioners on Thursday. Now, the pensioners resumed their picketing after government once again failed to honor its side of the bargaining regarding the deadlines for coupon payment. Explaining issues to the seniors who defied the morning rain to picket at the ministry, the deputy minister said, "So for now, our focus should be on the 5 outstanding coupons, and then we talk about how we will manage the principal payment." In a quote, she continued to say, "I sincerely appreciate where you are coming from." She emphasized nothing. This has never happened when coupons are ready for payment and the government is struggling to pay. But currently, we all know the circumstances we find ourselves in. So, I will plead with you. So let's sit and clear, and then we will see the way forward. Well, he stood before them, addressing them that way. But if you are a pensioner in Ghana, or as a listener, you have your parent being a pensioner, what do you think? Are they being treated fairly? Where you see the opulence, where you see the, a minister going traveling, or the president traveling, and the convoy still continues. We've not seen anything different from there. Unless, of course, those of you in Ghana listening to us can tell us that, well, there was a difference that you saw, that maybe the convoy has reduced from whatever number to now maybe 5 or a few of the cars there. Well, let us know. What do you think? It's all Starr Radio UK. We've got another 12 minutes to bring the first part of the program to a close, and then I'll be taking you to the House of Parliament, where we have, my apologies, Kent, where we have our own Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, who is going to be bringing you the money hour. And as he said today, the cost of living, there is some support. I mean, things are tough. Food prices are skyrocketing. However, there is support there. And how can you assess that? Do you qualify for it? He'll be telling you more about that. So make sure your data are still logged on. This applies to the UK though. All right then. So now let's move on to some other stories. Yesterday, the Starr story of the visual that was going around pertaining to the falling of Joe Biden, and the question that I've been asking since is that should he vie for the position again? That's the president. Should he be the flag bearer for the Democratic Party come 2024? By which time he's going to be 81, and then when he's sworn in 2025, he's going to be 82. What do you think? Is it because that he reckons that they cannot get any candidate who can stand boot for boot with the Republicans, whoever they nominate, especially Donald Trump? What do you think? Okay, let us know. I know that Kamala Harris, it'll be difficult for her because the first time when we had a female contender for that was when Donald Trump came to whip Hillary Clinton and down with all those leakage of, because she had the wind in her wings when she was going on that path. But with that brought about her downfall. But Kamala Harris, I don't think she will be any strong challenger to the Republicans. And that is why Biden thinks it is the right thing to do for him to contest again. But if he doesn't and Kamala doesn't, who next? Is it the Kennedys who wanted to throw their candidacy in or their hat into the ring, who are going to go on that path? Let us know what you think. 10 minutes to the end of the first part of the program. Stay tuned, don't you go away. Again, now President Joe Biden will now sign the measures into law that is the Congress have approved debt deal averting a U.S. default. So, and that is going to have an effect, or a personal effect on the globe, the whole world, okay, the global economy as well. Because if they are defaulted, that would have turned things very, very bad. Things would have been tumbling down like no man's business. But what do you think is going to happen there? It's all Starr Radio UK. One other story. Now, shelling in Russia border region kills two. Governor is saying the two women have been killed in shelling in Russia border region of Belgorod. His governor says Evlak Gladkov said the victims were hit by the shrapnel as they were traveling in a car near the village of Maslova Preston. Now, officials in the neighboring Bryansk Kursk region said buildings had been damaged in shelling an overnight drone attack. Ukrainian officials have so far not commented. However, Kyiv has denied involvement in previous attacks across the border, which it says are carried out by Russian anti-government groups. In Belgorod, Mr. Gladkov said two more people traveling in another car had been wounded in the shelling. When will all this end? It looks like total destruction is the only solution. And who sang that? That is the late Bob Marley. Okay. Now here in the UK, just one story and then we'll move on. The government is likely to lose its legal case against the COVID inquiry, a government minister has said. The cabinet office has said it will seek a judicial review of the inquiry, demand that it submit Boris Johnson's WhatsApp messages unredacted. Now, Science Minister George Freeman said he had very little doubt a court will find the documents should be handed over. But he added it was not worth testing if officials had a right to privacy. On Thursday, the government missed a 16 hours BST deadline to submit messages sent between Mr. Johnson and 40 other ministers and officials during the pandemic. The Cabinet Office, which supports the Prime Minister in running the government, has argued many of the messages are not relevant and that to hand them over will compromise ministers' privacy and hamper future decision making. Now, Baroness Hallett, the retired judge and crossbench peer who is chairing the inquiry, has said it is up to her to decide what material is relevant. And this is where I bring the first part of the program to a close. We're going to take a musical break, and then once we are back, we'll be gathering and gearing ourselves to have Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Service, our money man, joining us on the Money Hour. But stay tuned. Let's take a quick commercial break, and I'll bring you the music. It says what? Country Hot by Wuta. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hungry man say fix the country. Bellefou say fix yourself.
This is Starr Radio UK.
And each man living for himself. We say fix the country. You say fix yourself. Fix the country. We say fix yourself.
This is Starr Radio
You be the country, and you be the country. Fix yourself.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
We say fix the country. You say fix yourself.
Well, something from Wu tell for you this afternoon. I hope you're having a very wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Wonderful day.
We say fix the country. You say fix yourself.
Well, so what is your take on the pensioners? Picketing at the ministry, and government says, the deputy minister says, you know what? It's not like we don't want to pay you. The coupons that we give you, the 5 coupons, I mean, we want to pay. It's only that we don't got it. We don't got the money.
Fix the country.
What do you think about that? My goodness. Finish Starr Radio UK. And again, there's a quick one there. Think about it while the weekend just rolls on. What do you think about what the president, Biden, the issue he tripped them for? Or tripped and fell. Others are saying that, well, it's got nothing to do with his health. I mean, because there was a bit of what do you call it, a bump there, so he just tripped over that. Was it a sandbag? And then he fell because he wasn't watching. But at times you look at him, he looks a bit frail to me, you know.
Fix the country.
Do you think he needs to still run for president? He would have been the oldest. But well. And yeah, in the UK as well. The Prime Minister, the current Prime Minister, is it that they have something to hide? That's why they don't want to release the undocumented WhatsApp messages of the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson. That'll be the debate over the weekend. And God willing, when we come your way on Monday, we'll be bringing you everything that you need to know. More about that. But it's Starr Radio UK. Enjoy the rest of the music, and we'll be having Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of JL Accountancy Services, joining us in a jiffy.
Fix the country. Now. Tell me who be the country, and you be the country. Fix yourself. We say fix the.
Let me say good morning or good afternoon to Mr. Kate Yolson. Mr. Kate Yolson, wherever you are, to you and the family as well. I hope you're all doing very well. Dr. Morton and all you wonderful people there. Good afternoon to you.
We say fix the country. You say fix yourself. Fix the country. We say fix yourself. Tell me who be the country, and you be the country. Fix yourself.
As I did say, I'm going to have in Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, joining us in a moment.
Fix the country.
I'm going to be looking at the cost of living crisis.
Who be the country? Tell me you be the country. Fix yourself. If you be cheap, you support Galam, say fix yourself. Charlie, Kuti, one Ghana, one corner. Fix yourself.
Okay. Let's take a commercial break and prepare ourselves for Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services. Yeah, don't you worry, I'll bring you that music.
Hi guys,
again.
this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, Don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Well, welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to exactly, as my friend would say, exactement 12:36, and that means we have with us Mr. Dan Tabiri. Don't you worry if you can't see me. Don't worry, the technical team is working on it. You will be seeing me pretty soon. Mr. Tabiri, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Archie. Pleasure to come your way again this afternoon.
Yes, the pleasure is all mine. How are you doing and how is the family?
Yes, I'm great and family is doing well.
Good. We thank God. We thank God. Okay. So, what are we looking at this afternoon?
Yes, so this afternoon we'd like to look at some topical issues at the moment, which has to do with cost of living crisis. We keep saying and we keep repeating all the time. We are in difficult times where people need extra support to be able to get through the days and the months. High cost of living, everything seems to be going up. Everybody is complaining. When you go to the shops, a basket of goods that cost you a certain amount, you find out that they are 50% more, or in some cases even 100%. So there's less money coming into our household or in our pockets, but there's more needed to pay for our bills and to cater for our needs. And so this afternoon I want us to look at some of the support packages or facilities that are out there, just to highlight some of these so that people are able to take advantage and help themselves through this crisis that we find ourselves in.
Wow, listeners, if you are listening to us, what more can you ask for when it comes to such issues going on where people don't know what to do, where to turn to? But we're here on Starr Radio UK with our man himself trying to get you what you need to know, the support that are in place. That means that there's definitely supports in place for you, that it will help you. It's not easy. No, without saying that, but it will help ease the pain that we are all going through at the moment. Okay, so let's go on. What are some of the support that government has announced, sir?
Yeah, so some of these supports have been around for a while. Just reiterating them so that people are aware. Some people may already be receiving some of these support, and as a result, they may qualify for other support as well. So we'll go through quite a list of the support facilities that are available. Also, to caveat this, to say that this is only relevant for listeners who are in the UK.
Yes, yes, it's only to those of us in the UK. So if you're in Nigeria, you're in Ghana, you are in the US, you are in Australia, where most of our listeners too are this morning, you don't qualify for that. Yeah, okay. So we're talking about those of us here. All right then, let's go on, sir.
Yeah. So let's start off with some support we have towards your income. So for those of us who have low incomes, they can have some support in terms of what we now have come to know as the cost of living payment.
Mm-hmm.
And with the cost of living payment, if you receive certain benefits and tax credits, then you could receive extra support. This is coming by way of a check payment of £302, not in relation to anything in particular, but just to supplement your income. And you may be entitled to up to 3 cost of living payments.
Okay.
There's already £299, £300 payments, and also £301, which is going to be made in a single payment. So if you're already in receipt of certain benefits, like say income-based job seekers allowance, what we now know as the income, employment and support allowances, income support, any pension credit, universal credit or child tax credit or working tax credit, you may be eligible for this cost of living payment as well. You can check your eligibility through either the job center, or you can check with HMRC. If you are on any of these payment support systems and you haven't received your cost of living payments, I expect that once you're receiving these benefits, it's automatic. You should also receive the cost of living payment.
Okay. Now, listeners, Starr Radio UK, the Money Hour with our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and today we are looking at the various support that government have put in place to support us in this turbulent time when it comes to the economy. Now, when you said low income, what are we talking about there? What is the benchmark there? How would you classify somebody as a low income? Or is it somebody who is getting the support from the government already? Is that what we're talking about there?
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Okay. Now, we know that the energy, the support that government was giving to the energy, that was a blanket one to everybody, has ceased or is about to cease. I'm not very sure about that.
Yeah.
What information do you have on that, please?
Okay. Yeah. So we will come to that. That has to do with the energy bills. Okay. So with the energy bills, the government has lifted the cap. The guarantee that all bills throughout the year was limited to 2,500 pounds in a year. That has now been lifted. From current analysis that is going on, it is even expected that I think fuel bills are starting or have already come down now. So the pressures on energy bills is expected to ease, and therefore we don't expect energy bills to go beyond the cap, which was already in place.
Okay.
And so the fact that the government has removed the guarantee, we don't expect that household will be affected too much, especially coming in the summer and in the winter months coming up.
Okay. Good. Listeners, that's some information there for you. 12:44 the time, and we continue. Let's take us to the other support that's in place, sir.
Yes. So that is part of the income. We also have other income support, which we know in the UK, universal credit, which if you qualify for, you can get. So if you are also on a low income, you are out of work, or for any reason at all, you cannot work, be it injury, illness, sickness, or anything long-term nature, then you can rely on universal credit for support. You can apply through the job center, and they will take you through various assessments to check that you qualify, and you would get universal credit.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you how much universal credit is. It's all based on the assessment that the job center are able to make based on your individual circumstance.
Okay.
And then also, there is also what we call carers allowance. So if you care for someone who gets certain benefits, at least 35 hours a week, then you may be eligible for a carers allowance. You could get £76, £75 a week if you care for someone who gets at least 35 hours a week of benefits, of certain benefits. You do not have to be related to or live with a person you care for. You do not get paid extra if you care for more than one person.
If you care for more than one person, you will not get extra.
So you not get extra if you care for more than one person. So if there are two people, for example, that you care for in your home who needs care, they get this 35 hours a week extra care benefits, then you would get the allowance for just one person.
Oh, okay.
You would not get for two, yes.
Okay. Okay, next time we'll be asking some questions on that, but today I won't ask it. Go on, sir.
Yeah, so this carers allowance is also available that people can use to, especially if there's a household where there's a disability and parent cannot go to work because they have to stay in and care for this person or this person, then yes, you can make a claim for this to supplement your income. We also have job seekers allowance. So job seekers allowance has been revamped. It's a new style job seekers allowance, which is a lot more stringent in terms of the requirements for this allowance. The job center is now very active in checking to make sure that you qualify for this allowance by way of you being an active job seeker. And they will take you through a number of steps, a number of checks and assessments to make sure you qualify. But if you are genuinely looking for work, then and you haven't got one, this is something that will help you along the way whilst you look for the work that you desire or require. Another popular one that we have talked about over the years is marriage allowance. And HMRC reckon that there are still quite a significant number of people who are not using or utilizing or claiming this marriage allowance. What is marriage allowance? Marriage allowance is simply a scheme that HMRC have introduced that allows an individual or a couple to transfer allowances, personal allowance, unused personal allowances between them. So, for example, where in a couple, in a marriage situation or a couple situation, we have one person on a higher income and the other person in a lower tax bracket earning below the personal allowance. threshold. In this case, at the moment, we have £12,570. Then the person who is on the lower income threshold can transfer their allowances to the higher earning taxpayer. And this higher earning taxpayer has to be earning below the basic rate. So we're looking at around 37,500 per annum. This is worth about £252. And HMRC will send you a check for any unused personal marriage allowances that have not been claimed within the last 4 years. So you can do the calculation yourself. £252 for the last 4 years, £1,000 check, £1,008 check coming your way, and on top of that, you'd also get tax relief on £1,250 each year going forward for the one that is paying the higher tax. So this is easy money that can help us in these difficult times that we're in.
Interesting. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, our money man, taking us through the money hour. But today we're looking at the support that is in place for the high cost of living. So if you're listening to what this pertains to the UK only, please, okay, it's very important for us to clarify that. So please, you have any issues pertaining to that, feel free as the program is going on. You can put your questions on, or even after the program, just send the questions to us on Starr Radio UK or to Mr. Dan Tabiri directly, and he'll be trying to see how best to address you on that. But let's go back to Mr. Tabiri. Hello, Mr. Tabiri, please go on, sir.
Yes. Another new one that many people are not aware of and have not used is what we call budgeting loans. So budgeting loans have been available if you're on universal credit or you earn income support within the past 6 months, job seekers allowance, any income-related employment or support allowance, you may be eligible to get a budgeting loan. So the budgeting loan simply gives you a loan that you can help you to pay off some bills, and it's a soft loan, and it helps that you can receive to be able to defray some of your living expenses.
Interesting.
Budgeting loan is available. So, for example, the lowest amount that you can borrow is £100. So instead of going to, if you are very, very much hard up, instead of going to say payday loans or some of these loans, your credit, you don't have a job or you are on credit support, it's very difficult to get any loans from mainstream banks. And so people have to resort to payday loans or some of these informal loan options where the interest rates are really, really high to help them get through the week or get through the month. This budgeting loan is meant to help people, rather than going through that option, to go through the government to get this loan which is repayable. If the least amount that you can borrow is £100, so this is like a hardship loan where they give you support. And so if you can get up to £348 if you are single, £464 if you have a partner, and £812 if you or your partner claim child benefit.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like a very soft loan, and repayment terms are also made to be very affordable. Yeah, normally you can spread the loan out. You can pay over 2 years. The amount is not big, and so if you pay over 2 years, you probably be paying something like maybe about £3 or £4 a week, something like that. so that it's not burdensome. So this is very, it's not much, but it goes to help you from falling behind down the route of further loans.
Yeah. Interesting. Please go on if there are others there, please.
Yeah, so there are other support as well. We've looked at support for income. We can also look at support with bills, which we spoke about, the energy bills, price guarantee, and the support if you use alternative fuels is available. There are a lot of support that is available through especially the local councils. And I would encourage everyone to, if you're interested, to check what support is available through the local authority, because some of these support schemes are not coming directly from HMRC or coming through the job center. You have to contact your local council, and the local councils themselves have a fund which they have put into different schemes to support people within their locality. So it's absolutely important. There's support with household costs, there's support with discretionary housing payments for rent, there's housing cost help with universal credit, there's housing benefit, there's help with NHS prescriptions and health costs. So varied support basically is available. If you have childcare and maternity costs, there's also support available. But I would urge you to check with your local council, especially if you are on various income supports. You may already be qualifying for some of these additional support. Individually, they may not be much, but if you add on all the supports available, things like free school meals for your children, healthy start food and milk for your child, very young child or babies, support with maternity costs, all sorts of supports are available. So really, you shouldn't struggle if you're finding things difficult in this high cost of living period. I'm urging you to speak to your local council or go online, check online first, and see what support is available for you within your locality that you can access, apart from what the government is providing through the child credit, tax credit, and child benefit systems that are available.
Wow. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, our money man. And today we've been looking at the various supports that government has put in place for the high cost of living. So don't be, as I do say, a fool when there is abundance of water and then you end up dying of thirst. But Mr. Tabiri, the problem has been with some of our people or our listeners have been and viewers have been that they think that to access some of these facilities is quite cumbersome, and they decide, you know what, let it be. Let me just be what. So how easy it is, and can you direct people what to do, how to? Just talk them through that, please.
Yeah, definitely. The accessing these support schemes is an absolute priority of the government and the local council. The whole idea is to make it accessible so that it's not difficult for people to come forward and make claims. The first thing that I would encourage you to do is to look up online. There should be, and follow the links online for support. There should be user-friendly systems available. If you are struggling with the online system, I would say pick up the phone and call. Or you can, alternatively, you can walk into your local council and speak to someone, discuss your situation with them, and they will be able to lay out to you what support and what they can help you with based on your individual situation. So one, check online, see what you can get. If you can't get any far with that, call your local council and speak to someone, or alternatively, you can walk into the local council yourself and speak to them.
Wow. Listeners, that is info. Okay, this is an authentic one for you. So before we run up the discussions, Mr. Tabiri will put all his details there as well. He doesn't only come on the program to come and talk about the money, but when it comes to issues pertaining to your accounting, whether you are should I call it a sole proprietor, you own a company, or you are self-employed, whatever it is, he has a way of dealing with that for you. So you want your books run, whatever you want, he does that for you. But he's going to put his contact details there, and if you want any other information as well, he will help you to do so. Over to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Yes, thank you. So my contact details are telephone number 07961248834, 07961248834, and my email address is dan@gilaccountants.com. dan@gilaccountants.com. Certainly drop me an email or give me a phone call if you have any accounting needs or needs any support or advice in terms of any of the things we have spoken about today, or any issues widely within the accounting and tax framework. I'll be more than happy to assist you with.
Okay, sir. Let me say thank you very, very much for having you once again, and you giving us this brilliant information there as well.
Thank you very much, and have a brilliant weekend.
And you. Right then. Bye-bye for now. Okay, listener, that has been Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, who was on today to bring you the money hour. So wherever you are, with information that we put across, as I did say earlier on, you have any challenge pertaining to that, please get in touch with him on all the numbers that we put across, and of course on his email as well. Of course, you can email us at Starr Radio UK or send information to us, and then we can forward it to him as well. We are able to do that. We are here to serve you, of course. Alright then, so this is where I bring the program to a close for today. This afternoon there's going to be lots of music and let's talk. Over the weekend, Sunday morning we're going to be having the church service coming away from Bible Life Family Ministries, and also come Sunday evening we're having KB Bossman coming your way with a faith talk. But there's going to be lots of music and let's talk. Our DJs will be taking over pretty soon. But this is why I bring the program to a close. I say it has been a pleasure coming your way to all the parents who are enjoying the half term with their little ones, wherever you might be. We say have fun, and to the oldies and those of you who are just going about your duties the way they're supposed to be, we say have a lovely weekend, and across the globe, as we say on this platform, may Nigeria not happen to you. I see you all on Monday. Bye-bye for now.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Hungry man. Okay, enjoy that song from Wuta, Afriya Wuta, who says, the country hot. But I'm cooling it, aren't I? Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye. I'm Archie. See you all.
Thanks for listening.
got plenty, we move the test. You will get to go, plenty go. But we still the borrow, they go. To get a job, baby, who you know? We live like cops in a barrel. Shayo, Babeshi and Low. Hey, we say fix the country.
You say fix yourself.
Aye. Fix the country.
We say fix yourself.
Hey,
tell me who be the country? Who be the country?
Now you be the country.
Fix yourself.
I wanna hear that.
DJ Simo.
We say fix the country.
You say fix yourself.
Aye. Fix the country.
We say fix yourself.
Hey,
tell me who be the country? Me be the country. You be the country. Fix yourself.
Aye. Your minimum wage be hand to mouth. The government know the pay for month. From the same pay the king go talk. The bills go come. Ya rear the pump. Oh, civil servants, then magicians, building mansions after few years. Now who cares about the coffers? And each man living for himself. We say fix the country.
You say fix yourself.
Aye. Fix the country.
We say fix yourself.
Hey,
tell me who be the country?
Me
be the country.
And you be the country.